Time is not a line. It's a circle, an endless loop where beginnings and endings blur together. Some stories don't start when you think they do. They begin long before you arrive and end long after you're gone. This is one of those stories. The story of Dr. Louise Banks, a linguist whose understanding of words and meaning will change the very shape of human perception. The story of 12 alien ships that arrive on Earth without warning, without sound, without explanation. And the story of how language, memory, and time itself intertwine into something that defies human logic. This is Arrival. The first moments are quiet. There's no invasion, no alarms, no chaos. Only the still, melancholy voice of Louise Banks narrating. She says, "I used to think this was the beginning of your story." We see flashes of a mother and daughter, the laughter of a child running through sunlight, the softness of bedtime stories, the quiet warmth of family. And then the images darken. Hospital rooms, machines, a young girl growing pale, her mother's trembling hands, and finally, absence. Louise's daughter dies, and what's left is only silence. When we see her again, she's alone. She walks through gray hallways to her university lecture hall. Her students barely pay attention, half distracted by their phones, half lost in the chaos unfolding outside. But Louise doesn't know that yet. She stands before the board, ready to teach linguistics, the study of how we speak, how we understand, how we share thought. But then her phone vibrates, her students' phones too. Something has happened. 12 giant obsidian shapes have appeared across the world, floating, hovering, silent. They are called shells, vast oval ships, black as stone, smooth as glass, hanging motionless over Earth. Montana, Russia, China, Sudan, Venezuela. 12 ships in 12 countries, all perfectly still. The world spirals into fear. Governments scramble for answers. The news feeds are a flood of confusion, speculation, and hysteria. Some say they're here to attack. Others say it's a message. No one knows how to speak to them. Then, a knock at Louise's door. It's Colonel Weber, a firm, no-nonsense military man, bringing with him a recording of strange sounds. Distorted tones, deep echoes, alien voices. He plays the recording in her office. Louise listens carefully, her eyes narrowing as she studies the rhythm. She asks for context, body language, setting, any kind of interaction. Weber has none. She tells him, "You can't just start with speech. Language is more than sound." He leaves, but hours later she's called again. They need her. Louise boards a military helicopter bound for the landing site in Montana. The landscape below is shrouded in fog, the morning light filtered through gray clouds. She's joined by Ian Donnelly, a theoretical physicist, confident, analytical, and fascinated by patterns and numbers. Where Louise sees meaning, he sees data. They are opposites, but together they form a complete question. How do you measure intelligence, and how do you speak to it? As the helicopter crosses the valley, the black shape of the ship emerges through the mist. It's enormous, taller than a skyscraper, smooth, impossibly still. A mountain of obsidian floating just above the ground. Louise stares, transfixed. The helicopter descends. Soldiers scramble. Scientists hurry in and out of tents. The air hums with tension. This is humanity's first true contact with something beyond its own making. The transport vehicle approaches the base of the ship. A massive stone ramp extends down to the earth, gravity-defying, unmoving, alien. Louise and Ian suit up in hazmat gear, their breathing loud in the helmets. Heartbeats echo. As they walk up the ramp, everything goes silent, except for the wind. The world below disappears. They cross a threshold, and gravity shifts. Inside, the air thickens. Up becomes forward. Light moves strangely, as if bending around them. Then, through a massive translucent screen, they see them. 2 silhouettes behind a veil of mist. 7 limbs each, moving with slow, deliberate grace. The aliens, the heptapods. Their movements are fluid, rhythmic, like breathing ink. Louise steps closer, hand raised in peace. The heptapod mirrors her movement. Then from the mist, a jet of black smoke bursts outward, curling in the air, forming a perfect, intricate circle. A symbol, a word, the first alien sentence ever spoken to humanity. Every visit to the ship feels like stepping into a dream. Louise and Ian begin recording each symbol the heptapods create, circular forms filled with fractal detail, each meaning layered upon itself. They name the two aliens Abbott and Costello. Days pass. Louise notices that their symbols are not linear. They have no beginning, no end. Each sentence is formed all at once in a single gesture. This is not just communication, it's perception, a new way of seeing time. Louise writes, draws, experiments. She wakes in the middle of the night with visions of her daughter, of strange patterns, of circles drawn in the air. The language is changing her. Outside the ship, the world begins to fracture. China interprets the heptapod's message as a warning. Russia threatens military action. Fear spreads faster than understanding. A single translation, offer, weapon, sends the planet into chaos. But Louise isn't convinced. She believes weapon may mean tool, means, or even gift. The heptapods are not threatening, they are teaching. Still, paranoia takes hold. Troops begin to turn restless. The fragile alliance of nations begins to crumble. While politicians argue, Louise sits in her tent exhausted, trying to find meaning in symbols no human mind should understand. Her hands tremble as she draws, her breathing slows, and suddenly she sees not the page, but visions of another life, moments she can't explain. Her daughter laughing, a birthday party, a conversation she hasn't had yet. The heptapod language is not simply being translated, it's being absorbed, and it's unlocking her mind. Louise enters the ship alone. The mist rolls around her like fog on an ocean. One heptapod approaches, its immense shape shifting in the light. The creature releases hundreds of circular symbols all at once, overlapping, merging, converging into a vast tapestry of meaning. Louise doesn't just read it, she experiences it. Her consciousness fractures and reforms. Past, present, and future converge. Time becomes nonlinear. In a flood of memory or prophecy, she sees herself years from now standing in a grand hall at a peace summit. The Chinese general, General Shang, thanks her for changing the course of history. He whispers his wife's dying words to her. He shows her his phone number. It's impossible. It hasn't happened yet, but she now understands the heptapod's purpose. Their gift, their weapon, is their language itself. A language that rewires the human brain to perceive time the way they do, to know the future and still live it. Outside, chaos erupts. Nations prepare for war. Missiles are armed. Troops mobilize. The United States prepares to withdraw. The base is being evacuated. But Louise knows this is the wrong path. She sees the outcome before it happens. Guided by her new understanding of time, she runs through the base in the middle of the storm, past shouting soldiers and alarms blaring. She finds a satellite phone.
In the middle of all this noise, she dials a number she hasn't yet been given, but will be years in the future. General Shang answers. Louise speaks the dying words of his wife, words she could not possibly know, words that cut through the fear, through politics, through war. The general falls silent, and then he orders a ceasefire. The world is saved, not through power, not through violence, but through understanding. As the 12 ships vanish into the sky, humanity is left changed forever. Louise stands in the clearing where it all began, her mind now forever altered. She knows what is to come, the love she will find, the daughter she will have, and the pain that will one day return. Ian, standing beside her, doesn't yet know that their future is already written, that they will fall in love, have a child, and lose her. Louise sees it all, every heartbeat, every laugh, every tear, and chooses to live it anyway. Because to know the future is not to escape it, it is to accept it. Her final words echo softly. If you could see your whole life from start to finish, would you change anything? And then silence. Only the wind through the grass where the ship once hovered. Arrival ends not with destruction or triumph, but with understanding. It's not about aliens, it's about what it means to communicate, not only with others, but with time itself. Louise Banks learns the greatest truth of all. Language is not just a tool for sharing thoughts. It's a mirror of how we think, how we see, and how we exist in time. In learning the heptapod's language, she transcends human limitation. She doesn't change her fate, she accepts it. Because love, even when bound to pain, is still worth every moment. The film closes as it began, a circle. A beginning that was never really the beginning, an ending that was always meant to be.